What would happen if, one day, you just stopped trying to be liked? If you stopped editing yourself to fit in, stopped worrying about saying the right thing, stopped trying to win approval from people who barely notice you? It sounds freeing, doesn't it? But it also sounds terrifying. Because from the moment we're young, we're taught that being liked means being safe. It means being accepted. It means belonging. And belonging is a survival instinct deeply wired into the human brain. But here's the truth that most people never realize. Constantly trying to be liked doesn't create real connection, it creates performance. You become a version of yourself that's built to please, not to live. When you stop trying to be liked, the first thing that happens is discomfort. A lot of it, you start to feel exposed, even guilty, because you've built so much of your identity around managing other people's approval. You start to question everything, your tone, your boundaries, your opinions. You might even catch yourself apologizing for things that don't need apologies. But that discomfort is the first sign that you're breaking an old pattern, a pattern of self-abandonment. For years, maybe even decades, you've trained your brain to equate being liked with being safe. And when you challenge that, your nervous system interprets it as danger. So the anxiety, the guilt, it's a sudden fear of being judged. That's your old programming trying to pull you back in. See? The psychology behind people-pleasing is fascinating. It often comes from early life experiences, growing up in environments where love or attention had conditions attached. Maybe affection was given only when you behaved, achieved, or agreed. Maybe conflict meant emotional withdrawal or punishment. So you learn to adapt. You learn to read people's moods, to anticipate reactions, to smooth things over before tension even appeared. That skill, emotional awareness, can make you empathetic, even successful. But when it goes too far, it becomes self-erasure. You start to live not as yourself, but as a mirror reflecting what others want to see. So when you stop trying to be liked, you're not just changing behavior, you're rewiring your emotional conditioning. Your brain begins to unlearn the old rule that says, I have to make everyone happy or I'll be rejected. It starts learning a new rule. I can be myself and still be okay. And that shift changes everything. At first, some people will notice. You might stop saying yes to every request. You might start expressing opinions you used to hold back. You'll begin to speak more directly. You'll set boundaries that make others uncomfortable. Some will pull away. They'll label you as distant or selfish because your self-respect no longer serves their comfort. But that's not rejection. That's recalibration. You're no longer surrounding yourself with people who like the version of you that never says no. You're creating space for people who value you for who you truly are. Something else happens. When you stop chasing approval, your confidence becomes quieter but stronger. You stop measuring your worth through reactions, likes, replies, compliments, validation. You stop overanalyzing silence. You realize that peace doesn't mean everyone likes you. It means you like yourself even. When they don't, that's real self-esteem, the kind that doesn't crumble under criticism or rejection. You start to notice how much energy you use to spend managing impressions, decoding texts, replaying conversations. All that mental noise starts to fade. You feel lighter. You have more focus. You begin to think clearly, not through the filter of what will people think, but through the question, what do I actually believe? And that's where true authenticity begins. See, when you're constantly trying to be liked, your personality fragments. You act one way with one person, another way with someone else. You're always editing, adjusting, blending. But authenticity isn't about being the same with everyone. It's about being honest in every version of yourself. It's about aligning what you say, what you think, and what you feel. When those three things match, you stop feeling like an actor in your own life. That alignment creates an internal calm that no amount of approval could ever give you. Now, here's something interesting that psychology shows. The more you stop trying to be liked, the more genuinely likable you actually become, because people can sense authenticity. Humans have an incredible ability to detect when someone is being real versus when they're performing. When you stop seeking approval, your energy changes. You become grounded, confident, relaxed. You stop over-explaining. You stop defending yourself against every misunderstanding. You give others permission to be themselves too. Real confidence isn't loud, it's calm. It's that quiet. It's the unshakable sense that you don't need to chase validation to deserve space in the room. But make no mistake, not everyone will celebrate your growth. When you stop trying to be liked, you'll lose some people. The ones who benefited from your compliance will call you difficult. The ones who relied on your constant agreement will say you've changed. And they're right, you have. You've stopped trading authenticity for acceptance. You've stopped shrinking to make others comfortable. You've stopped confusing peace with people-pleasing. Losing those connections might hurt at first. But what's waiting on the other side is far more valuable. Relationships built on respect, not convenience, as you grow into this new version of yourself. Something powerful happens. Your self-talk changes. Instead of asking, "Do they like me?" you start asking, "Do I like this situation? Does this feel right to me?" You become your own compass, instead of outsourcing direction to the opinions of others. And that's when you discover the true cost of always being liked. It keeps you from being known. Because if everyone likes you, it probably means no one actually knows you. The more you live authentically, the more your life aligns with who you are instead of who you think you should be. You stop chasing opportunities that don't fit your values. You stop saying yes to things that drain you. You start living with integrity, not moral perfection, but emotional honesty. You'll make choices that others might not understand, and that's okay. You'll realize that disapproval isn't danger, it's just disagreement. You don't have to defend every decision or prove every feeling. You'll find a strange sense of peace in letting people misunderstand you because your self-worth no longer depends on their clarity, and then something beautiful happens. Freedom. The kind of freedom that doesn't shout, doesn't rebel, doesn't need to prove anything. It's the quiet freedom of just existing as yourself, unapologetically. You'll laugh louder, speak honestly, and stop apologizing for taking up space. You'll notice that life becomes simpler. Fewer fake smiles, fewer forced conversations, fewer invisible battles for approval. The people who remain are the ones who were never there for the performance. They were there for you. And that realization makes all the earlier discomfort worth it. When you stop trying to be liked, you stop chasing belonging and start creating it. You attract what matches your truth. You discover that the right people don't need you to be easy, they need you to be real. You'll stop fearing rejection, because you'll realize that rejection isn't loss. It's direction. It's life moving you closer to authenticity, to alignment, to peace. The truth is, trying to be liked by everyone is emotional exhaustion disguised as social success. But once you stop playing that game, once you decide that your peace matters more than approval, something inside you settles. You realize that you don't need to be universally liked to live a meaningful life. You just need to be authentically you, consistently, unapologetically, and kindly. That's where real connection begins. If this video helped you see yourself or others in a new way, take a moment to subscribe to Psyche Edge. On Psyche Edge, we explore the hidden sides of the human mind, how psychology shapes your emotions, relationships, and identity. Join the community of people who are learning to think deeper, feel wiser, and live truer to themselves. Hit subscribe, and let's keep understanding the mind one truth at a time.